last video I shared with you was me going to the Middleton Plantation. And that was the first of my trips to 3 plantations I went to. The first one was in 2002, was in Middleton. And we talked about that last time. So today we're going to talk about the second plantation. This was called a Whitehall Plantation. William Middleton sold it in 1820 to George Washington Earl and his wife, Elizabeth Robinson Earl. George Washington Earl was born in 1777. On his birth, his mother died. And he bought the Whitehall Plantation in 1820 from William Henry Middleton for $1,800, along with 26 slaves. Those were my ancestors. And he didn't have a long stay at that plantation because he died the next year in 1821. But before he died, a few things had happened. His daughter, who was 3, she lost one of her eyes from digging up into a glue tree or a sweet tree, and a knife came down and hit her in the eye. And he had another daughter, Nancy. She was 10 years old. She died that year too, in 1820. The next year, in 1821, he would become sick. And in his will, he sold my ancestors, Caesar, and he sold my ancestor, Phoebe, their mother. At that time, when slave masters dies, all their bills become due. And so they have to make some type of way in their will that when they die, everything goes up for sale. The slaves, because they have to pay off all their debts. That's the way it was back then. Unfortunately, my ancestors, the son of Caesar, Jack, he was not spared, or his wife. But the kids, they were spared. That would be Agrippa and his mother, his mother Mary, and the father Caesar. But the grandparents were sold. I visited that plantation in 2003. And I went there with Rochelle Riley. And I remember it was like a Sunday morning we came there. And the wind was howling and blowing. We went to the door, we knocked on it, and he answered the door. And he says, "I'm Charles Stone." And I said, "I'm Rose Ella Morton." We both smiled, we were both cheerful. But I don't know if he was hiding pain, if I knew if I was hiding pain, but I just was hiding mystery. I wanted to know a lot. And so he invited me in. His wife served us tea, iced tea. And I said to myself, oh, now it's time for me to get served. But after that, we went to the burial place where my ancestors, his ancestors were buried. And I was hoping that I might find maybe my ancestors could have been snuck in there, but that was not to be true at all. But we went to the cemetery, and I got a chance to touch and to feel the stone. In fact, I was just standing just right on top of them. And I was like, oh, I wonder, they never would expect me to be up over them like this. Now, I'm up over you, and I'm looking down, as you have looked down on so many of my ancestors. It was some joy in that. I hate to say it, but it was like, I felt a little happy that I was able to do that. And the kids, Charles Stone had about 3 kids there, and they were just like, I know they had been told what we were coming there for. And one little boy, he had a key. And I said, "What do you have?" He said, "I have the key, I have the treasure, I have the key, I have the magical key." And I guess they told him that we were looking for something, and evidently he was trying to tell us he had the key that might be magical to find what we were looking for, which I thought was funny and hilarious at the time because it was just so funny. But that was my second plantation. And we left there. We signed the book and everything, and we left there. And from then we went home, and Rochelle Riley did an article. In fact, she wrote a book called Life Lessons. And in this book, I have 2 of my stories from the Milton Plantation and from this plantation here, the Whitehall Plantation in Greenville, South Carolina. And she wrote this book in 2004. The book I did after I took all my trips. I wrote my book, Our Family's Keepers, which you'll be able to find here. You can find it online by Rose Allen Morton. Tells a story from slavery to freedom. And after I wrote this book, I sent this book to a historian at the Milton Plantation. And she did this book, Beyond the Fields. Well, I'm glad to say that I will come back again with another story, and it will be on the 3rd plantation. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.